I'm OVW official Josh Ashcraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at Triple Threat Talk. I'm Dean Hill.
This is Ricky Chevy, and I'm the blue collar millionaire.
I'm Mr. Peck. God, that's great every time. Spectacular.
We're the Bronis Brothers.
I am the One Go Revolution, Taylor Hendricks.
This is Brandon Espinoza.
I'm the assassin.
I'm Bruno Raul Limana.
I'm James Moose Thomas.
I'm Shiloh Jones.
My name is Ron Head. I'm the announcer for OVW. I'm Jamin Olivencia.
I'm Alex Silva. I'm Rocco Bellagio.
I'm Kerry Bodie, the Ohio Valley Wrestling fan advocate.
Raphael Constantine. I'm Rand Perez. My name's Muhammad Ali. Baez.
I'm Paradise.
This is Jack Black.
This is Ohio Valley Wrestling. Referee Chris Sharp.
This is Sexy Sean Casey. I'm Chris Silvio.
This is Michael Hayes. This is Jason Wayne.
You're watching Triple Threat Talk.
To episode 54 of Triple Threat Talk. How are you guys doing today?
Car 54, where are you?
Really? Car 54, please come in. That's fine. Where are you at?
Really? Alright, so, good. What are you doing down there?
What?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? I found this at the store. Look at that. Loaded for days. Check that out.
24 ounce aluminum can of Diet Dew.
It's like Diet Dew times 2 in a can. This is what they use to wake up people who have been in cryogenic induced sleep. That's what they use to jumpstart them.
Big gulps, huh? Alright. Well, get back here. Thinking you're all Jim Carrey over there.
Looks like Jim. No, actually, it looks like Kevin Steen.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, but we all know he's instead of Big B, he's Big Roads. We all know. I'll tell you about all
that. Hey,
does
this look familiar?
Less than 2 minutes.
Of course. That's what he said.
So we start this week off with Viewer question. Thank you.
Viewer.
He's finally catching up. And we kick things off.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Whoa! You're the oldest one on set, pal. So watch
you're gonna be 30 soon, aren't you?
Yeah, real soon.
Thanks.
From the CAW interviewer.
From?
Where did you get your nicknames from? I guess we'll start down there and work our way this way.
Alright, well, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I got this nickname way back when I was living in New Jersey. That's what, I mean, it's not really an interesting story to tell. It's just what people called me back then, and it just stuck. I don't know, it's not really interesting. Hopefully maybe it's something more interesting for you.
We're going to have to answer this question like once a year for like every year we do this show.
Well, maybe like when we answer, they'll write it down, and that way they'll know. Okay.
Yeah, write that down.
Write it down.
Yeah, where's your get your notepads out, right?
You're very. This is how you know we like you, CAW.
You're gonna find another paw print, and that's the first clue.
Oh
Put
my
it in
God.
a notebook, and you know what to do. Blues, clues, blues, clues, clues.
I don't know what's more frightening, that a pair of 20-somethings knows that song, or the fact that it just got recited on Triple Threat Talk.
Postmaster, where's the notebook? I gotta find the notebook.
Anyways.
He said write it down.
Because we like you, CAW. This is why we're answering this question, because we've already addressed it.
But
mine just because I know everything, really.
But answer it truthfully.
I mean, yeah, true. That's not because you know everything, because you don't know everything.
Well, pretty close to.
No, you don't.
But
shut your mouth, being cocky.
I think it's the DAW.
Really?
Yeah,
the DAW?
You mean the DWA?
What's in this thing anyway?
The DWA, the DWA thing is where we got the Dr. Persona. And I mean, it's just one of those things that it's like, hey,
I mean, kind of
the doctor.
Oh, I mean, kind of delves into the pharmacy.
Yeah. I mean, the fact my work in pharmacy, things I've done in pharmacy, just
I think we call him a drug dealer rather than a doctor.
The dealer.
He puts pills in a bottle and hands them.
Can I get some extra biscuits?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much where that came from.
Mine might be interesting, I guess, out of the three, I suppose. Postmaster comes from when I used to deliver mail, and a lot of my friends
now.
A lot of friends called me the Postmaster.
Hello, Newman.
Because I was the mailman.
Newman.
And then when the new Indiana Jones movie came out, everybody knew I was such a big Indiana Jones fan, and they just coined the name Postmaster Jones, and it stuck.
You were going to be his son in the fourth one, weren't you? And then Shia LaBeouf came in. And...
No. I'm going to be Shia LaBeouf's stunt double.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, I'm his butt double. I got a better looking butt than he does. You want to see it?
You've got no butt.
I know. Okay. That's the point.
All right.
Do I have to stop recording now?
No, I'm just saying.
Anyway.
From Brian Enraged 96.
Why are you so enraged? I want to know.
Hulk smash.
What would be
This be
your favorite moment in the CAW league?
I would... moment, I guess I would have to say, in general...
In the Navy.
Thank you. In all of 2007, 2008, when like CW really blew up, and it was a fun time to do it, and everyone was converging and doing really interesting stuff at that time. It wasn't a specific moment for me, but just to be a part of it in that group of people, ICCW, SCAW, SMF, myself, UWO, all converging together as one. That was my favorite moment, just because it was the time that CW was at its peak, and I don't think it reached that anymore. It was like the attitude era of CW, I guess you could say that. So,
I think mine was not because it's related to Doctor's Order, but because we got so many comments of when I formed the second part of the Doctor's Order to add to Apocalypse and Siler, when of course it was Chesney and Presley, and people were like, "Oh my God, we thought this was a joke. This is cool," and like
the joke.
We were like, "Really, this is awesome." I think that was pretty cool. That really worked over pretty well when people realized what we were trying to do with it.
I think mine would have to be when I got to commentate my first CAW.
You don't have a lot of experience.
I don't have a lot of experience, so I'll go with that. From Against All Odds 20. Listen here, pal. You want to talk NASCAR like that?
What do you mean NASCAR like that?
You sidewinder.
You forgot to put in his comment.
Put his comment that he made.
About Stop what? Talking. Nobody said
that wasn't him.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Mr. Horror. It was
MX Horror the second. Okay, that's right.
Sorry.
That's right.
Don't scrutinize against.
See, if you wrote it down like you're supposed to.
Anyway, every comment.
MX Horror the second. We'll talk NASCAR whenever we want to talk NASCAR.
Whoa. I think.
So anyway, Against All Odds 20 has a question.
20.
Do you guys agree with him? Why would we agree with him? I don't know. Apparently he thinks we might. That Ryback should start having real matches with real WWE wrestlers and stop getting jobber matches.
Real. But at the same time, guys, y'all want to do the same time?
They're not fake, though. Those are actually wrestlers. They do wrestle.
I know. The one thing that was my favorite, I know again, my favorite was when they did the presidents. Willard Fillmore and Rutherford B. Hayes.
Yes.
Y'all want to answer the same
time?
3, 2, 1.
Yes! Yes!
But yeah,
honestly,
we don't really need to delve into.
I mean, honestly, darling, it's not mine. I swear.
Give him a chance to shine. Come on, guys.
Feed me more.
Feed me.
From Guitar Hero 3214.
Guitar.
I think we met that guy, didn't we?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Who do you think will walk away this MLB season with the best record?
I mean, right now it looks like the Dodgers. They have the best record at this point. They don't seem to have any signs of slowing down. The Yankees were on a 10-game winning streak. They actually just lost today to the Braves. That's 2 in a row. But the Dodgers look like the strongest team in the league right now. I could see them possibly winning the most games this year.
I definitely agree. I think the Dodgers, not because I'm biased, because I'm recently getting into baseball, but I've developed to be a huge Reds fan. The Reds are on a roll. Of course, they've dropped their last 2, but they were so strong. They're only 3 back out of the first in the NL.
They swept us.
They swept the Mets in New York. That's pretty tough to do. It's one of those things where I definitely think it would be the Reds, the Dodgers, and if the Yankees keep throwing together 10-game winning streaks, then I would say the Yankees too.
I kind of like the Dodgers. I mean, they're probably the best all-around team right now. They got a pretty sizable lead already in the NL West, as it were, and I think it's kind of interesting that the new ownership takes over, and it's like a whole new breath of fresh air is coming there, and they're just a totally different team. And So I say the Dodgers.
All right.
From Buckin 5.
Which we have to talk to about.
Yes, we will talk to you in just a minute.
Yeah.
What are your favorite sports movies and WWE DVDs of all time?
I think we agree on one of these. So.
Yeah.
And actually, to paraphrase another question, so we can tie all these together.
True.
The Prototype 400, which we have another question for him a little later, but he says, what are your top 5 favorite sports movies of all time?
Okay.
So we'll kind of answer. Maybe we can just discuss a few movies as we think are some of the best movies. So I guess Big B, give us like 2 or 3 of the best sports movies for you.
I love Remember the Titans.
Epic. I think it's the greatest football movie ever.
I like The Water Boy.
That's kind of a comedy.
It's still football.
It is.
I like Little Giants. Little Giants is good. I enjoyed that. A Miracle is very good. The most recent, that was amazing. I like Seabiscuit too. That was a good one.
Seabiscuit was very good.
So I Remember the Titans is probably my favorite sports movie. Remember the Titans is very good.
I do like Remember the Titans. On the WWE side of things, the Monday Night Wars is amazing. I like Field of Dreams. Probably the best baseball movie ever. Tin Cup was pretty good.
Angels in the Outfield.
What about Rookie of the Year or The Rookie? That's very good.
The Rookie was very good.
Dennis Fade.
But I mean, nothing can touch Field of Dreams.
A League of Their Own with Charlie Sheen and
there's
his
no
villain.
crying about in baseball. No, that was Major League.
Yeah, Major League.
Major League was pretty good.
League of Their Own was epic too.
There's no crying in baseball.
Too late.
But yeah, I mean, Tin Cup was pretty good too. That was awesome.
I like Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, that was good.
And
The Flying Bee!
And Miracle, of course. Miracle's really good. Probably Talladega Nights, about a Ricky Bobby.
Of course, it's more of a comedy. Smooth or skit.
And Days of Thunder.
Robin is racing.
That's right, Robin is racing. It's like I need to pit. I don't think so. We're a little busy. We're eating ice cream. Ice cream!
But yeah, I forgot.
And as far as WWE DVDs go, the story of WrestleMania is absolutely epic. If you haven't seen that, it is very good. It's well written. It kind of tells the story how WrestleMania got its start, and it goes all the way up to I think last year, 26. It's very good.
I forgot to mention some of my favorite WWE DVDs. Obviously, the Monday Night Wars is probably the best wrestling documentary we put together. And if you're a huge fan of Shawn Michaels like we are, Shawn Michaels' Heartbreak and Triumph is a terrific story. It delves into the personal struggles of Shawn Michaels. It talks about he almost killed himself during the Attitude Era. He was addicted to drugs. It tells a very, very good story of Shawn Michaels. Definitely the best Shawn Michaels DVD that I own. So,
also from the Buckin' 5. Who would be your dream tennis person to either play against or take lessons from?
I think this one's all you.
Yeah, duh.
Just saying.
Play against.
Not necessarily. You might want to take lessons. You claim that you can beat Big B, so you might want to take lessons.
To play against, honestly, I mean, I could pick any of the legends. I could pick like Federer or Djokovic or Nadal or Hewitt or Sampras. But actually, this is kind of funny that I say this, but I actually like to play against Eric Quigley because, you know, he's gonna be turning pro soon. He just finished college at Kentucky. And I'd like to see, you know, how he is. I mean, I've seen him play a couple times, and he's very good. He's very quick on the court. But it'd be kind of cool to play against someone because he's a rising star, and I do think he's going to be a star in the professional tennis. So I would like to play against him. I'll take lessons from. I'll say probably Federer just because he knows so much about the game, and I'd like to learn everything to know about the game from him. So.
You don't want to learn from Andy Roddick?
I like Roddick, but Federer is the maestro.
Okay. From FWA Owner 22. Who do you think will retire first? Brian Urlacher or Ray Lewis?
This is an easy one. I think it's going to be Ray Lewis because I remember last year when the Ravens were in the playoffs, you know, that...
Playoffs?
Thank you, Jim Moore. That defense is getting older with, you know, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, whatever. And, you know, I think, you know, Ray Lewis he's getting on in years in his career. And I think, you know... They were really hoping they were going to win the Super Bowl last year, get to there. Obviously, something happened with the field goal. Everyone knows all about that with that defense. So they did say they want to come back one more year to you know, try to maybe win a championship before they retire. And I think Lewis is going to retire first. I think that next year is going to be his last year as a Raven. So.
I think Ray Lewis as well, although Brian Urlacher's wife did have a humorous moment this week. Did y'all hear about this? Jenny McCarthy. She sent out an explicit photo by accident to her child's dentist. So
Where's that dentist located?
it was accidental. They were complaining about a tooth or something like that for her child, and the dentist apparently said, well, where's the tooth located at? And instead of sending a picture of the tooth, she sent a picture of her and all of her glory.
I gotta look at this right now. From the Prototype 400. If we were to create a game show, how would we make it?
Well, what was your answer to Urlacher and Lewis?
Oh,
Fail.
Lewis.
Lewis, of course.
Okay.
It's evident. It's obvious.
Okay. If we were to create a game show, how would we make it?
What kind of game show?
What kind of game show would we
Triple
do?
Threat Talk make?
Jeopardy. Quiz show.
Oh, yeah.
Quiz.
Definitely.
I think it would be a
Jeopardy.
sports themed show.
It'd be Jeopardy, but with sports questions.
Jeopardy.
Only no tennis categories allowed.
Yeah, that's true. It's only
Boring.
It's not boring.
Nap time.
It has a history. It's been around longer than any of your sports.
You have got to be kidding me.
It's been since the 1800s, pal.
It's been around longer than that.
Well, like late 1800s.
It's been around longer than that tennis has.
No.
Kings and queens used to play.
Well, I mean, when it
Royal
first was
England.
called tennis, but.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're running out of time here. We'll come back with how would we make a game show right after this.
Dad, where'd you get that?
Oh, you won't believe what just happened.
Don't tell me you got the last Diet Dew.
Yeah.
I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for it? Deal.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, it tastes that good.
Hey, Hotshot. Meter's running.
I thought it was.
So I have confirmed during the commercial break. I did take a look at the photo, and my.
I didn't misspeak. It's not his wife. It is his girlfriend. I'm sorry about
Go
that.
Brian. Anyway,
But
back to the game show.
I mean, I think it would be like kind of maybe Family Feud, sports trivia, something like that.
That'd be epic.
That'd be pretty cool.
Survey says.
Jenny McCarthy.
Maybe one of these days we'll do a game show skit.
Sounds like a good idea.
There, anyway.
You never know.
Back to the question.
Back to the question at hands. From the Mad Macabre.
Oh, before we do that, Prototype 400. Your question does make us a little bit uncomfortable, but there are several sports conspiracy theories. I'm going to look into a couple of those because I know that one of the most prevalent ones is the Nolan Ryan playing baseball. The night that the lights went out to preserve his no-hitter is definitely a big conspiracy theory. So I will look into a couple sports conspiracy theories because there are quite a few of them.
If he wants to check out something like that, he should probably watch Conspiracy Theories. Jesse the Body Ventura.
Conspiracy theory! Today on Conspiracy Theories.
Dun dun dun.
Did Predator really happen? What?
From Mad Macabre.
Hey!
I think we know him.
We got a game going here!
Who do you Come on! Who do you think will be the next TNA gut check contestant?
Didn't we? No, is this like who we think or who we know?
He says that keyword. Think.
We don't know anything.
This is kind of like a loaded question.
Who do I think?
No, it's not. It's not loaded at all.
Think?
Think. You better think. Think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think.
That will be going viral. That will be trending forever.
Who do I think? I honestly don't know because, I figured this gut check thing was, for OVW people to get involved because the first one was Alex Silva, so I figured that's, kind of the reason.
I'm Alex Silva.
Thank you. The kind of the reason they signed the developmental deal with OVW is to get those guys more exposure. But the last time they had someone was that guy Joey Ryan from California. He didn't make it. Who do I think? I'd like to think it may be someone like Ali Baez or Silvio or Taylor Hendricks, but it seems that this gut check thing is going to span the globe, so I honestly don't know who it's going to be. I'd like to see like Ali or Silvio or Taylor Hendricks, but that's just me. So
yeah, I totally agree. I think I would like to see Taylor Hendricks. Actually, Ali Baez, Taylor Hendricks. I mean, I don't want to play like favorites or anything here, but obviously, like we're big advocates of the entirety of OVW and friends with quite a few of them. Great acquaintances at most with a lot of them as well. But Taylor Hendricks, Michael Hayes, Ali Baez, the list could go on and on, but those three really kind of strike the bell as true for me.
I think Big B, Postmaster, and the Doctor. Why not?
Amen. We're coming for you.
I like it.
Commentators, no holds barred.
That's right.
What about Taz? It's Taz.
It's time. It's time. It's Taz time. From the Michael Cage. If Shawn Michaels never became the big star that he is today, and instead Marty Jannetty did, then how different would the world of wrestling be?
I would like to point out that there is a parallel universe where this happened.
It'd be very different. That's because,
WWE may have went under.
Well, I don't know about that, but, everyone knows wrestling is not real. It's
what?
Stop it. Wrestling's not real. It's scripted. People get pushed because of certain decisions. Look at John Morrison. John Morrison is the most gifted guy I've seen in the ring since Shawn Michaels, and look what happened to him. So, cut it out over there. But look at the wrestlers today. Everyone, like I said before, if you're good enough to be in that ring, you're obviously good enough to be there. So with that being said, it'd be very different with Marty Jannetty if he got the push that Michaels did. Because, with Shawn Michaels, you can't teach what he had. Skills maybe can be taught, but his charisma, his desire to do that can't be taught. He just had that in himself. So I don't think Marty had as much passion as Michaels did, so it'd be very different.
Hey, he knew how to put his face in a glass.
Thank you. But yeah,
he still does.
I might agree with him to a certain degree. If Shawn Michaels never became the star he is, WWE wouldn't be as prolific in the sense of, they had produced one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. So I just don't think it'd be a lot different for sure.
I mean, there'd be no DX. There'd be it would have been WCW to buy WWE instead.
Well, you gotta remember, he joined the Attitude Era. He wasn't there.
Who? Yes, Michaels is not there.
DX.
Well, Michaels wasn't there. 98.
Yeah,
he wasn't. 98 to 2003.
I guess I consider the Attitude Era to start in '95, not really.
No, 97.
But that 95 is really when they started busting out the fines and stuff like that.
Well, the DX didn't start till late 97.
It didn't start till 97, but Shawn Michaels, I will attest that Shawn Michaels was there at the beginning because he also had part to do with the NWO coming back in the early 2000s when it started going on.
But a lot of people will say, make your argument where the Attitude Era began after Steve Austin beat Michaels at WrestleMania 14, then the Attitude Era began. So.
It's just one of those things where I believe Shawn Michaels helped usher in the Attitude Era, and I would say it was definitely, how there's like different eras in time, like pre-Cambrian and post-Cambrian. Like I would think that Shawn Michaels was definitely pre-Attitude, like if not Attitude. But it's one of those things that I just don't think the company could have survived. I don't see how it could have. Austin would have definitely been a good push, but I mean Shawn Michaels is definitely the reason I think that WWE went over on WCW in the long run.
Right. I mean, I'll say this: I think Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler ever in the WWE. Best WWE superstar, I would say Steve Austin, just because I think Steve Austin was a better entertainer than Michaels. Michaels was a better wrestler.
So you're not going to see Shawn Michaels chugging beer and flipping people off and...
What are you talking about? He did that.
Driving...
Well, I mean, he chugged beer when he was in DX and he did things that were suggestive.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Not as far as the way that Stone Cold went.
But Steve can get away with it. So.
Exactly. I mean, how different would it be? I mean, these guys kind of summed it up, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I mean, it makes sense. I don't go as far as to say that WWE would be shut down or WCW would bottom out.
Suffered.
I mean, they would have suffered a little bit, but like he said, the Attitude Era was without Shawn Michaels, and that's when they really took off with the
Rock,
Nation of
Austin.
Domination, Rock. Austin, the corporation, the corporate ministry, all that.
The corporate ministry, like 50 people.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was freaking amazing.
It's easier to name who was in the corporate ministry than who was in it.
Stone Cold.
You're right. That's about.
That was it.
Steve Austin and
against everybody else. From the DJ Becca Show. What do you guys think of Sting being the first inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame?
I don't like it.
I hate it. I think it's an epic fail.
I felt it should have been Jeff Jarrett. I mean, he helped create the company in the first place.
Yes.
And I this question, it brings up a good point for what happened at Slammiversary. They were just completely sucking up to Sting the whole night. First of all, he's the first ever TNA inductee in the Hall of Fame, which probably doesn't exist anyway.
No.
And two, Christian comes out for some unknown reason to announce the number one moment in TNA history, which was Sting coming back in 2006. And then Sting almost wins the world title later that night. So it was all pretty much Sting's night at Slammiversary except for the main event. So this is all them saying, Sting, here's all your admiration.
I'm thinking it's because he agreed not to leave to go to WWE, so now they're kissing
He doesn't work with Vince, that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, but he was real close.
I know.
He was within inches.
WrestleMania 27, so close, and I went...
It would almost happen. So, from Brian Enraged 96. Why are you so enraged?
Maybe this is why.
It could be. This question is for all three of you.
Oh, all three of us.
If you know what's up. Who
would win in a fight to death? The legendary Super Saiyan?
And you forgot part of that. Super Saiyan Broly.
Oh, well.
Or
I wrote down the questions.
The Incredible.
Are we talking about Eric Bana, Edward Norton, or Mark Ruffalo? Mark Ruffalo. I have to go with Mark Ruffalo. But if it's Eric Bana, I take Super Saiyan Broly all the way. Edward Norton is close, but Mark Ruffalo.
Edward Norton.
What about Lou Ferrigno? How about that one?
That'd be epic. He was the original.
Yes, he was.
You'd never hear Broly coming.
Oh, he can read little.
I definitely think the Incredible Hulk would destroy Broly because
Hulk Smasher.
I mean, he gets stronger. What they said that Superman's weight limit is 24 million pounds, and the Hulk has lifted an entire planet in the Secret Wars.
Did you see what he did to Loki in the Avengers? Come on, really?
No one does that to an Asgardian and gets away with it. But yeah, I definitely think Hulk's got it because Hulk gets angrier and angrier and angrier as he gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and there's no known weight, there's no known strength limit to the Hulk.
I will not be manhandled.
I definitely think that Broly would get his arse kicked.
Arse. I go with Incredible Hulk just because I have no clue, and
Incredible Bulk.
It sounds like you all know, so I'll agree with you all too.
Incredible Bulk.
Incredible Bulk.
So with that, we do need to make mention to, before we do that, to Bucket 5. We would like you to send us your autograph request.
Right. Who do you want?
Who do you?
It could be anybody.
It could be anybody in OVW.
It can go from Nick Dumar to
Jesse Goddard.
Bob Terry.
You know, it could be anybody. So just go in there and send Big B a message of who you want, and we'll get that signed with your name. You know,
whatever you want.
You know, whatever put on there. So with that, we now turn it over to the doctor. And he will anoint the Viewer of the Week.
Sorry to break the streak, but I love the question of Brian Enraged 96. So due to your
Bucking 5 streak is over.
It's not because I don't like you, Bucking 5. I love you saying that we're the highlight of your week and all that stuff.
It's fixed. It is fixed. This is a common question.
The NBA Finals.
He asked
conspiracy theory.
He asked a common question. And he gets the Viewer of the Week.
This should be on conspiracy theory with Jesse.
Yeah, I think so. Let's check into this. So Brian Enraged 96. You're this week's episode Car 54. Where are you? Triple Threat Talk Viewer of the Week
in stereo.
So with that, Big B.
Yes.
If you would please.
What?
Strike the band.
What?
Strike the band.
I don't see a band.
Warm up the band.
Sweet Chin Music?
No.
What?
Play the tape. All right.
Well, thank you.
Doctor, give me the news. I got the bad case of the headline blues.
Stop blind dancing.
Sorry. It's catchy.
Blinded by the light.
Wrapped up like what?
Wrapped up like what? You changed it to a rap song.
Like I can't say.
Well, I do have quite a bit of headlines, but before we head to break here, I'm going to let Big B clue you guys in on the tennis tantrum of the week.
Yeah.
Because that was definitely a headline, and I don't know what happened.
Alright, so I'm going to get into Wimbledon later. This will be a preview later. But
we get tennis twice this episode?
No.
Yes.
That's 2 naps in one episode. Are you ready?
Well, I know you're tired.
Napping in 3, 2, 1.
Well, you wanted to hear about Nalbandian, so wake up.
All right.
So, while I'm talking, this clip will be playing because I wanted to change up how we do things. So the clip is playing right now. And you see this clip. Nalbandian's shot goes long on Marian Cilic. And... Really? You don't think I can't see
Go
that?
ahead. Go ahead.
You don't think I can't see that?
You got a minute and 15 seconds to make your case.
No,
what's...
They can't see. They can't see me. There's a clip playing.
Anyway, so Nalbandian's playing Marian Cilic in the Aegon Championships in England. He wins the first set 7-6, so he's already up. He's losing the second set 3-4. Shot of his goes long. He ends up kicking the.
Come on!
It's distracting.
It's not distracting.
Yes, to me, it
look that way.
I can see in the corner of my peripheral vision.
I'm not even looking at you. I'm using my peripheral.
Yeah, my peripherals.
Go ahead.
Go, you're gonna run out of time here.
Anyway, so he kicks the Nike, I believe it was a Nike logo, and the linesman is sitting right there. He kicks the logo, and the logo nails the umpire in the leg. As you see the clip, whatever, and he starts to bleed.
Oh God, he's bleeding profusely. Blood everywhere.
Stop the match.
It's like Ric Flair in the Crimson Mask.
Really? All that? Would you knock it off? It's not funny.
It is funny.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
And he'll continue his story, and we'll be right back.
Hello.
Hey, come check this out. Tennis player.
Swiss tennis player.
Lindor truffles. When its smooth center starts to melt, so will you.
We're gonna have to confiscate these.
Why is that?
It's a new policy. No chocolate balls.
Okay.
I think we should do a strip search too.
Excuse me?
It's protocol.
Are you kidding me?
And we're back.
Alright, finish your story.
Alright, thank you. Can I finish it professionally?
You can.
Finish it.
You could have finished it.
Finish it.
Thank you.
Finish it.
So, like you saw in the clip, he kicked the sign and it hit the linesman in the leg and he started bleeding. Okay?
Blood everywhere.
This is something you don't see very often, and it was actually trending on Twitter, and it was being talked about all week because it was just something you don't see normally in the sport of tennis.
Yeah, tennis trending. Yeah, that's something you never see.
Anyway, for tennis fans out there, like, it's hard to talk about this stuff because they don't respect it. They don't respect the sport at all, so it's really impossible. So, Nalbandian does this act, and I was telling them before, this isn't the first time he's done something like this. There was an episode a while back where he poured water on some judge for some odd reason. He obviously has some anger issues or some kind of rage issue or something like that. I don't know what's going on
about that
with the guy. So what happened was, due to this action, he was disqualified from the match, so Cilic wins the tournament. He was fined $12,600 just for that alone. He was also fined the tournament money he would have won, $57,350. So he's about fined around almost $70,000 for this incident. He loses the ranking points he would have had also. And there was also a police investigation for assault on this for Nalbandian. So it's also just a bad situation for him. But I have to say this though, I'm not too satisfied with the police thing about it. Yeah, he did kick him and he did make him bleed, but I don't think the police should get involved in this, honestly. It's a tennis matter. The ATP is taking care of it. They're fining him. They're spending him the points. I don't think any more should be done about it, honestly. So
I love the fact that he's getting charged with assault. He made the guy bleed for Pete's sake.
That's what she said.
But, I mean,
there's no but about it. He kicked him. I don't care.
I know.
I don't care that he didn't mean to.
I don't care.
That would be like if I pulled out a gun and shot you and I don't mean to.
That's completely different.
No, it's not. Oh, I didn't mean for the gun to go off.
Well, think about this one.
Well, I'm just saying.
He kicks the sign.
So?
And accidentally hits him in the leg. If he hit him in the leg, he might not have been...
He was acting like an idiot.
Well, no kidding. I know that Nalbandian has an attitude issue. I know that.
You know what he needed?
Anger
He
management.
needed the Assassin's Guide to Hand-to-Hand Combat.
Why?
Available now.
There was no hand-to-hand
OVW
combat.
stands
I like the assassin.
I gotta see this. Hold on.
I like the assassin. All he does is close on people. That's all I see him do.
This is epic. Oh my! Retract the hand immediately.
That's right. Thank you, Assassin.
Thanks, Big B, for that Nalbandian interview.
Now, as if we're ever going to get to a doctor-mandated headline, there's now a NASCAR headline.
That's right. NASCAR's in the headline. So MX for the second, you might as well just turn this off and turn this back on in just a few minutes if you don't like NASCAR. But For the first time in 4 years, apparently there is miracles out there, and they do seem to exist. Dale Earnhardt Jr. picks up the win this past weekend at Michigan, ending a 143 race winless streak.
4 years.
4 years to the day. His last win, Father's Day weekend at Michigan. 4 years later, Father's Day weekend at Michigan, he picks up the win, his first win of the season. It was absolutely inevitable the way he's been running this season. I mean, he's picked up top 5 after top 10 after top 5. It was due for him to finally win. He's been running very well. His cars have been performing well. They've been fast. And probably one of the funniest moments was Tony Stewart finished second, smoked. And in the post-race presser, they asked Tony his thoughts on Dale Jr. winning, and he said, and this has got a lot of the Junior Nation mad, and some people say he's definitely done his usual of stirring up people like he likes to do.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Another thing, I just noticed that that's the pause button on the recorder.
He's had too much to drink for that.
Yes, he has.
He's already going.
So Tony said,
yeah.
It's just somebody else winning. It's not that big of a deal. It's not. He goes. It's not a national holiday, guys. He goes. Earlier today, we were celebrating the fact that it had been 4 years to the day that he wins the race, and now that he's won, I guess we're in mourning.
Whoa, what do you think about that? You guys smoke kind of downplaying.
That was epic. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, he's no bigger than anybody else. He saw. Yeah. So what if he's Dale Jr. and he's the most popular driver? Who cares? He's another guy on the circuit. He wins a race. Boo, freaking boo.
But
he's overrated. He's running on his daddy's last name. I get sick of hearing it. I'm sick of it.
But for someone that is popular as him in the sport,
yes,
to win a race after 4 years, it's pretty big.
I guess.
I get what you're saying. Where
it's overrated.
I get what you're
saying. The man doesn't win for 4 years.
I get what you're saying.
And he wins. It's supposed to go, and we're supposed to go, oh my God, he wins. He's great.
I get what you're saying. It's not a national holiday thing, but at the same time, he's a popular racer in that. He's a popular driver in that sport. And after 4 years, what if Tiger Woods won like something?
So I was about to say, in 4 years, if Tiger Woods wins, people are. You could be taking the race. Oh wow, he won! It's a huge story, and you would be saying, Tiger's #1 in the world again. He's #1 in the world. I mean,
if your favorite golfer was like Phil Mickelson, it's the same thing. I agree to an extent where, let's not bullets. Let's not have a parade for the guy. But I mean, for a guy as popular as he is, after a 4-year absence of not winning a race, it's pretty big.
Have a 4-year stretch of not winning a race?
No, he was pretty successful.
I mean, he was successful, but I know that there was the old joke about the man's dog only getting excited when Dale Jr. took the lead.
I guess now we're gonna have Dale Jr. be sponsored by Slow Glow, from what I understand. I don't know. But anyway, so they move on to Sonoma this week. One of two road courses on the circuit.
I want more night races.
You do want more night races? The Kenyan 600, right?
Riding Tigers?
Wow. So yeah. And next week they will be in my old Kentucky home. They will be at the Kentucky Speedway.
Quaker State 400
weekend, which I will be in attendance all weekend.
Get some footage or you're fired.
I'll get us some good footage and probably maybe do a on-site.
Is Postmaster live on location?
Location. Maybe you snap an interview if I'm lucky. We'll see. I'll try.
Get with Tony Stewart. That'd be epic.
That would be epic. This is Smoke, Tony Stewart, and you're watching Triple Threat Talk.
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
I don't think I can handle the mic. I'd probably have to let Stephanie do it.
It's fine. Be like, this is Postmaster Judge.
But he'd have a mic in one hand and his other mic in the other.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
so that's the NASCAR. That deserves to be a headline.
That's the driving.
I think there were a lot of big stories that happened this week. Not most notably, but definitely noteworthy. The Yankees sweep 3 series consisting of teams of 500 or more for the first time in franchise history. That was just phenomenal. Yep. They won 10 straight, only to lose earlier today to Atlanta.
They got shellacked 2 days in a row by Atlanta. After sweeping Atlanta last week, Atlanta's beat them 2 times in a row.
Jason Hayward went off today.
Yes.
Sure.
Roger Clemens is acquitted on all counts of federal indictments. So, thank you. I needed that.
It didn't. It's so apparently you didn't take steroids because
he's like, did you ruin my shirt?
No. Hey, apparently you didn't take steroids.
I never.
Never.
That is Zombrex.
No, I didn't know. Why don't you be like Rafael Palmeiro? I did not take steroids. Period.
Or Bill Clinton. I did not do steroids with that woman.
I did not have sexual relations.
In fact, I went to McDonald's.
She went to Moorhead.
One of the most ridiculous golf courses I have seen in a long time.
Wowzer, the Olympic Club.
Proves Webb Simpson to be the winner of a score of 1 over par to make the last 15 majors have 15 different winners. That was just ridiculous. A score of 1 over par, won the tournament at the U.S. Open. They extended this course by like 800 yards, and 100 of it was on a par 3. Hole number 6 or 16, I forgot which one it was a par 3. It was 183 yards before the PGA got a hold of it. At 2 years ago, they made it into a 200 and like something yarder par 3. This course was ridiculously hard, ridiculously long, and I haven't seen a blow up from a.
Grow up.
I see what you did there.
Grow up.
I'm sorry.
Tiger
Woods said ridiculously hard, ridiculously long, and
Tiger Woods just blew up in his face.
Grow up. I think the more prolific story of it, I mean, congratulations to Webb Simpson, obviously, but the more prolific story of this U.S. Open is what Tiger Woods at one point was in first place, and then he ends up back in the pack like 15th.
Yeah, and then the other, of course, the segue to that is the fact that this is the first time in Tiger's lifetime career history that he has not turned a second-round lead into a third-round extension or better.
Someone's fading.
Yeah, Tiger's clearly seen his best days. I'm not saying he's never going to win another.
Time to
major.
work at Dick's and sell golf clubs.
But after it was long and hard, now he's working at Dick's.
Apparently, Shortcut Perkins, he frequents there tonight.
Yeah, he frequents there.
Oh.
Should be a spokes.
Yes. Hi, this is Tiger Woods, and come try the big breakfast at Perkins.
Come eat a
table for one.
Table for one.
Table for one. Eldrick, table for one. Eldrick.
But then we got to get a little bit serious here because the creeper himself.
This story took a whole chunk of our time last year.
Wow. I can't believe some of the things that's coming out. So today, the defense did wrap up today, or actually Wednesday. Wednesday they wrapped up. Yeah,
just today.
They wrapped up the defense, but the prosecution wants to play the entire NBC Bob Costas interview. Apparently, we only saw part of it, and
I think we saw what we needed to see from.
Yeah, we saw what we need to see for sure. But some additional comments were made by Jerry Sandusky apparently later on in the interview that would further incriminate him. Bob Costas asked, do you realize that you don't have to be a pedophile and take advantage of every young boy and earn their trust? You could, and he went on to give an example. He said, for example, boy A, you can take care of with no malintent at all.
Right.
You are purely there like you should be taking care of him. But boys B, C, D, and E, you can be taking care of them for the gaining their trust of committing sexual favors.
Right.
It's a little bit graphic conversation, I realize.
Yeah.
And Jerry Sandusky apparently came back with, I didn't help every boy with sexual needs that I could have.
Yeah. I mean, we all know all the information, what happened with that, and it's just. It obviously was the biggest sports story of last year. It didn't just, hit ESPN and all that the major sports stuff. It hit like NBC, all the news network, because it was something you don't see happen every day. And it's just, for a prolific thing to happen, especially what happened with Joe Paterno at that college. It's just a tragedy to see this happen. And it's still going on because, they have to wrap this up and see what happens with him. So.
But yeah, just a couple other sports headlines here. The General takes an NHRA from going left to going straight. The General takes Top Fuel, General being Tony Schumacher, taking Top Fuel. Ron Capps takes Funny Car, and Mike Edwards takes Pro Stock. And when we get back, we'll talk the NBA Finals. The Heat taking a commanding 3-1 series lead. Talk about it after this.
the Fresh Maker.
And welcome back here on Triple Threat Talk. I am Postmaster Jones, along with my esteemed colleagues, the Big B and the Doctor.
The Big B. It's not like the Arizona.
The Doctor. And we were getting ready to delve into the Miami Heat Championship.
All right.
Miami Heat Championship.
I'll do it
ahead.
I'll do it first.
Thank you, sir.
Your turn.
What? I'm not shaking it. He's called the Spurs.
No, I didn't. This is where you go wrong. Play the tape. When we picked the NBA Finals, the Spurs aren't in the NBA Finals. I picked the Heat. You two picked Oklahoma City.
You said the Spurs. At least our pick from the get-go is still in it.
Yeah.
That may be the case.
From the beginning, I said Thunder Heat from the beginning.
Right.
But
and I said the Heat Spurs from the beginning.
It's not over yet.
And the Spurs are in the finals, so I said when you said pick the game, the championship, I said the Heat.
I agree with the sense of nothing is ever over. Nothing is ever over till it's over. But mathematically, it's over.
They're going to need to win 3 games in a row, and they can't do it.
In the NBA Finals history, no team has lost through 30-0.
They're not going to do it.
It's mathematically impossible.
I'm not sure if this game is over or not.
They're going to take. It's going to take a Red Sox v Yankees.
I mean, I will shake his hand when it's done.
Think about this one,
and
though.
say congratulations, your second pick.
All the ingredients are in this recipe, I guess you could say, in the sense of Miami's up 3-1. Mm-hmm. Game 5 is tomorrow in Miami. They can close it out at home. Mm-hmm. That's just a recipe for them to win.
Yes, it's definitely.
They can win their championship at home.
It's definitely on a silver platter for them to close it out, win at home for their home.
Yeah, because if they lose, they go back to Oklahoma City.
They got a lot of going things going from. They have the home crowd. They have the 3-1 lead. They have the referees that are back. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely right, though. All last night during the third and fourth quarter,
horrible.
The officials were trending on Twitter.
Terrible.
Number one trend were the officials.
Terrible.
Absolutely horrid officiating.
Absolutely terrible calls.
No bad calls for the Heat, pretty much. I put down several examples here. James Harden's third foul was complete garbage. And then 2 minutes later, his fourth foul. The same play, I don't have a problem with Harden getting a foul on the bump. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is going back down the next series when the Oklahoma City Thunder had the ball. LeBron James did the same thing to James Harden, no call. And that was just ridiculous. And even one of the commentators mentioned, I think it was Van Gundy, he said, how was that not a foul? They just called Harden on it a second ago. That absolutely horrible no call. Durant trying to go up and take possession on a rebound. Dwayne Wade knocking his hand out, pushing Kevin Durant out of bounds. That should have been intentional. Wade should have been gone. Of course, that didn't happen because they're in Miami. Bosch bumps ×2 on James Harden. They were just last night was abused James Harden night.
Yeah.
James Harden, or actually Chris Bosh goes like this to Harden. That wasn't called. And then he goes like this, pushes him way out. It should have been.
How did the shot there?
That should have been 2 shots and possession for OKC. And then the Jones double foul was just atrociously bad call. This whole series, and then what kills me about it is
it was a bad call, but it actually was a bad call against Miami.
That was the one example. Because I didn't want to be completely unbiased. I did put 3 fouls.
That wasn't bad, but I mean,
that was just atrocious.
Officiating aside, Miami has looked like the better team as far as
I can't say that.
As far as role players go. I mean, look at Mario Chalmers. They had no answer at all for that guy.
That was his game.
He's definitely not one of the big 3. He is a support player, and he went off last night. And an interesting stat from last night's game that I'll throw out there. For the first time since 1987, I believe, when the Celtics played the Lakers, 3 players from one team scored over 25 points. Dwayne Wade, DeMario Chalmers, and LeBron James all had over 25 points last night. So an interesting stat. And the thing about LeBron, and I heard some people talking about this today. It seems to me that LeBron has kind of went away from that bad boy image attitude of like, you know, it's me against the world and blah, blah, blah. It seems like he's just put this team on his back and like, this is my team. I'm carrying this to the title. And Dwayne Wade has kind of took over that like thuggish look. Like, I wouldn't expect that out of Dwayne Wade. Like, it's like Dwayne Wade, like, it's like when LeBron got there, he told Dwayne Wade, look, you're like the best player here. You need to have a bigger ego. You need to think of yourself bigger than what you really are. You don't think of yourself enough. And I think he's listened to LeBron too much. And I think, you know, Dwayne sometimes he does things that are kind of questionable. And a couple shots last night were, you know, I watched a lot of the game, and there was a couple times he could have passed it off to somebody that was open or a better shot, and he just jacked up shots because he wanted to. And that's just a sign of just, you know, wanting to get his and the heck with, you know, everybody else. And you're obviously not going to win doing that. I mean, they are up 3-1, so they're definitely. He needs to realize that LeBron. Because think about this: when LeBron was in Cleveland, he took it was LeBron and a team of Harrys. Let's face it, there was nobody on that team, and he carried them all the way to what, the conference finals? What, twice?
No, went to the finals.
Once, and the conference finals twice, right? So they should have won last year, and they should have won. They probably will.
Mathematically, they win this year.
They should win this year. They should, if they kept the team together they have now, they should win 2 or 3 more. Yeah. In all honesty, they're very dominant. And Chris Bosh does not belong at center. I know he's playing center, but that is not his position. He is doing well for playing the position that, you know, because they got him there. He's doing okay, but he should be a power forward at best. Definitely not center material. But he's making do, and they're getting by with it, and they have a 3-1 lead, and they could close it out to tomorrow night or tonight.
I have to disagree with your statement that Miami is the best team, because when you have the referees in your pocket, and they do, and these games are coming down to one possession, the better team is the Thunder. I mean, when these games are going down to the wire, even with the horrible officiating, so biased towards Miami, I think that proves that without a doubt the Oklahoma City Thunder are the better team. They don't need helps from the ref. I mean, how are the refs doing that? If they are calling this game purposely in favor of Miami, they are clearly not doing a well enough job if the Thunder are still coming up one possession short. I mean, it's one thing when the world is against you. For whatever reason, these officials, even after David Stearns talked with them, because David Stearns publicly came out after game 2 and said these games are going to be better officiated now. I'm tired of the fans want to see the fans aren't paying to see Durant on the bench. They're paying to see Durant and LeBron. And I sat these referees down and talked with them and told them to loosen up. Guess what? It didn't work. I mean, that's going on publicly killing your image as if it could be killed anymore, Stearns. But, I mean, to me, this just sets it down that next year I don't see how David Stearns has a job. The guy is an utterly horrible commissioner.
Utterly.
It's just one of those things that needs to be addressed, his incompetence in this position, coming out and saying things like that when the officiating is still so bad. And the fact is, if they are trying to fix these games, they are definitely not doing a well enough job about it, because the Thunder are just coming up one or two point shot each time. To me, the Thunder's the better team. I would say if you play Game 3, Game 4, 5 more times, the Thunder wins all 5 of them. I mean, it's just ridiculous with unbiased refs. I made a comment on my Facebook, and about 10 people liked it, that you could go out and hire bums off the street and get a better officiated game than what they were doing. It's just horrible for this to come in. And right now we're forced to watch this.
Yeah.
Because there's no college ball on. We are forced to watch this nonsense.
Nobody's telling you to turn.
I mean, if you want to watch basketball,
I mean, you can watch the Reds.
Yeah, I could watch.
You can watch
the Reds.
You can watch the UEFA.
I don't know.
The UEFA, come on, the soccer championship.
Oh, I was like, what?
UEFA. You're the one that was saying, UEFA. Football.
when you talk about that, I can't wait to cover that in the Olympics. But anyways, it's one of those things that...
Hey, you talk about tennis if he wants to talk soccer.
That's right. Soccer is the world's most popular sport. Deal with it.
That was the world's most popular.
It is the world's most popular sport.
I think the NFL might even though it's American.
It's American sport.
They play in American places.
Yeah, they play in
Jolly fish and chips and whatnot.
But soccer is definitely the world's most popular sport.
Give me some tea.
It's over 4 continents, like primarily.
But
I don't.
It's just one of those things that. It's been ruined.
ruined. I mean, you bring up a good point. I mean, it's obviously apparent. It's not like, the blinders are on, no one can see what's going on. I mean, obviously it is going on. The referees are obviously...
When the commentators are talking about it during the game.
Yeah, it's just, and it's a shame that, it has to come to this because you wanted to see... This obviously was going to be good ratings because you wanted to see if the Thunder were this spectacular team that beat the Spurs 4 straight, or if LeBron could win his first ring, and it's obviously apparent that the officials was like, it's like, pretty much we're tired of hearing about LeBron. When's he going to win? It's like, let's just give it to him. And that's pretty much to a T what's going on, because it's just like, as you said, it's not like, I was a close. It's like, no, it's not close. It's apparent that these calls are bad. Yeah. And it's not like, it's like, well, maybe that was it's not like that. These things are happening, and we're forced to. If you're an NBA fan, you're forced to look at it and unfortunately accept it.
And when I tune in, I don't want to see foul in the finals. These are grown men. I don't want to see foul.
Let them play.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to see. And then like they come back and do this, like instead of a tap.
Hey,
and then that's not a foul. That's good. That's good. But anyways, it's just one of those things that rubs me the wrong way, but I like good basketball.
Speaking of rubbing things and...
Whoa, where are you going with this?
Wait a minute. And going the wrong way or doing things the wrong way. How about somebody that's doing it the right way? And that is Mets pitcher R.A. Dickey. Back-to-back one-hitters, and Johan Santana with a shutout.
Last night.
The Mets pitching staff has been on a tear lately.
Not only did R.A. Dickey have back-to-back one-hitters, but
one of them should have been a no-hitter.
Right, and the back-to-back one-hitters, and then the one the other night, 13 strikeouts on the Orioles. I'll be honest. I'm a huge Mets fan. I'll be honest. I thought the Mets would either A, get swept by the Orioles or win one game. They've won 2 already. So that's impressive. 5-0 both games. So very impressive stuff by the Mets.
Knuckleballer Dickey.
Yeah, definitely a front runner in the All-Star, and I would say it's a big fear for the Cy Young if he keeps playing this way.
And if the Mets are smart, they'll do their due diligence and they will re-sign.
Please! Don't make me suffer anymore.
Wait, 2 pitchers back-to-back winning the Cy Young? I don't think that'll happen.
Dickey's really...
No, I agree.
That's a pitcher award. What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
back-to-back.
I thought you said MVP.
No, I meant
I thought you said MVP.
No. We will go to commercial break here, and when we get back, Big B will preview Wimbledon. Yay!
You're so enthusiastic.
Hey, Nick Dinsmore here. Do you have the dream of becoming a pro wrestler? Well, I did, and I came to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. I'm a former WWE superstar, I'm a former 9-time Ohio Valley Wrestling heavyweight champion, and I can train you to be the best today. For all the information regarding the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class, go to ovwrestling.com and click on school. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. ovwrestling.com, click on school.
Alright, welcome back to Triple Threat Talk. This is Big B alongside the Doctor and Postmaster Jones down there at the end. And before we went to break, Postmaster did say I was going to preview Wimbledon, and I shall do that right now.
Hold on, let me guess. Hold on.
Oh my god. First, I can't talk intelligent about the Nalbandian thing. Now you're going to go on this
No. I'm just... Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
On the men's side.
Yes.
Djokovic.
Number 1.
Okay. Murray.
Number 4.
Okay. Roddick.
He's way down there.
And
Nadal.
And Federer.
Yeah.
Those are your 4 or 5 guys that you're going to talk about. All 4 of them are favorites to make the finals in the semis.
I think he's making fun of you.
No, I'm just.
He's trying to make some intelligence out of it. I agree with
Marty. What about Marty Fish?
I'm extrapolating.
Well, I agree. Okay, here I'll go. Okay, I agree.
What about the one guy that you always talk about?
What one guy?
The guy you've been talking about earlier that's been playing really good. I can't think of his name. I think it's Spanish.
David Flair.
There we go.
He's a good clay quarter, but we'll see how he transfers.
They always make fun. I'm just saying. We can just save this whole preview.
Well, I'm gonna say just real quick. He is technically right. Those are obviously the big favorites. Wimbledon obviously is the most prolific tournament in tennis. That's the one thing you think of when you think of tennis Grand Slams. Obviously, Djokovic won last year's first Wimbledon, beating Nadal. Roddick's been in a couple finals, as he mentioned. I don't think Roddick's a real favorite anymore, just because he's in the twilight of his career. Murray has so much pressure because he's playing, in his home country of England, so it's really tough for him to maybe get to where he was. I mean, obviously, if you remember Tim Henman, he was like Wimbledon's hope. I mean, he has a hill at Wimbledon named for crying out loud. Him and Hill. People watch the matches there. Now it's called Murray Mound or whatever to watch.
Let me ask you a question, because I've always wondered this, and I've never really got an answer. Sure. How come at Wimbledon everybody wears all white?
It's just tradition. I looked it up actually. I wanted to know myself. It's just tradition.
They're all virgins.
It's just. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just tradition.
I guess because
it's a prestigious tournament, they want to look all nice or whatever. So
we all want to look dashing for the queen.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Wimbledon. Obviously Djokovic is the number 1 seed because he won it last year. Nadal coming with the French Open. He's got a big favorite in Federer. Actually, I'm gonna delve into a story real quick about that. There's actually a 3-way battle for number 1 at Wimbledon. Pretty much what's going to happen is, since Djokovic won those matches last year, the 4-1 match win streak, he has a lot of points to defend. Here's the stories what's going on. Federer can take number 1 if he wins Wimbledon, and Djokovic not advance past the semis. So if Djokovic makes the semis, loses in the semis, and Federer wins, then Federer will be number 1. Nadal can be number 1 if he wins the championship, and Djokovic doesn't go past the quarterfinals. So Nadal's a little bit of a tougher test to get back to number 1. Djokovic can't go past the quarters. Federer, I like Federer's chances to win this tournament. It's obviously the one he's won 6 times. I like to see him be number 1 again, honestly. My pick is possibly going to be Roger Federer here. I mean, I know Djokovic is playing really well and Nadal's playing well, but I mean, it's the thing with tennis, it's tough because the top 3 guys are so good. Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic are just so, heads and shoulders above the rest. I mean, I'm looking at the point spread right here. If Djokovic wins, he gets 12,280 points. If Nadal wins, he gets 10,860 points. If Federer wins, he gets 110,075 points. And if Murray wins, he only gets 8,000 plus points. So Murray is way off of these 3 guys. These 3 guys just have a stranglehold on the sport. And, it's going to be one of those 3 guys to win Wimbledon. If someone breaks through, I would say possibly Isner because he's playing really well in the grass. David Ferrer, even though he's a good clay court player, he's playing really well. I mean, it's like I said, the top 3 guys are really tough to handle. Especially you got to beat 2 of them to get to the finals and win this thing. That's just tough. On the women's side, I like Sharapova just because she played so well at the French Open, and she's a big favorite. Serena, she kind of slipped off of the French Open. Sarah Arani, who made the French Open final, she had a good tournament on the clay. We'll see how she does in the grass.
What about the young girl from America?
What young girl?
She's like 17 or 18, and maybe she's not from America.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's a real young girl. Yes, you do. We've talked about her on the show before.
Real young.
Yeah, like she's not very old. No. She's up and coming in tennis.
No. Sure she's not Chinese, so young?
Lena.
No, I don't know. Maybe I could have swore we talked about a young.
But I mean, women's game it's so deep and the women's game is so deep because like the French Open, you didn't expect those people to make the finals and the semifinals, but they did, and that's why the women's side is a little more, it's wide open because there's these different women that they advance and you think the favorite's going to, but these people come out of nowhere and have a great 2 weeks and they make it interesting. So, but I still like Sharapova to win this one. As the men's side, I said Federer. Should be interesting. Wimbledon starts June 25th. It's going to be a shame this year because NBC does not cover it anymore. They lost their.
Who covers it now?
NBC used to cover it, and now it's going to be ESPN2 from the first ball to the Grand Slam, the final. So it's going to be ESPN.
Melanie Udan.
Okay, yeah, but she had one big tournament in the US Open, but she hasn't really done that well.
I knew there was somebody,
but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, see? I should get a pat on the back.
So ESPN2 is covering the whole thing, so it should be interesting to see that. Before I close the tennis topic, it's really, like I said earlier with the David Nalbandian thing, Marin Cilic won the Aegon, and I didn't see the final, but Tommy Haas won the Gary Weber Open that was in Germany, and beating Federer. And what I heard, Haas played very well, so I'd look out for him to have maybe a deep run in Wimbledon. So, very good stuff.
As we always ask you, because of the people that care, what is your dark horse pick for the tournament?
Women or men or both?
Both.
Okay, men. Dark horse. Let's see.
And you can't say James Blake. I can't.
Oh, it's terrible to say that. He's on the end of his career too. Dark horse to win or dark horse to make it far?
To make it far or win, whatever. Pick your poison.
I'm gonna say dark horse to make it far. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like the fan in me, but I want to see Leighton Hewitt have one big run because I think this might be his last year as a professional player because his career's kind of winding down. He's got a lot of injuries. He's not playing as well as he did way back when, as he was a young kid. I'd like to see him make a deep run. As far as the women's side, I mean, there's so much depth, as I said before. Sam Stosur, she's pretty good. She won the U.S. Open. I think she could make a deep run. I like to see one of the Williams sisters because every time they make a deep run, the ratings are up high for the sport. That's what I like to see. I like to see one of them maybe a rematch of the final 2004 Serena and Sharapova. So we'll see.
Interesting. And we're back here with Triple Threat Talk.
Wow, where did we go?
And we're back. All right, thank you for that excellent preview of Wimbledon.
I think that wraps up sports this week. It does wrap up.
Wearing all white. And now we go to wrestling.
I just spell it with an A. So
wrestling.
So is this how you spell wrestling? W-R-A-S-S-L. Like that.
And then, wrestling.
So we kick things off with our weekly OVW wrestling.
And we got a guy who's been very patient with us.
Juices, too.
Very, very patient with us.
Very.
One, and the other didn't.
I don't think patience is a good enough word.
All right. Very saintly towards us. The other one just came back. So without further ado,
you
may know him as Dominant.
Hold tight, check in, shack.
Without any further ado, we caught up with Mo Green and Cliff Compton, and here's what they had to say.
Take a look.
What is up, Triple Threat Talk fans? This is the Doctor. I am here in the world-famous Davis Arena. I have two prestigious young gentlemen to my right and left here. We have Cliff Compton.
Hey, how are you?
And then I have the amazing Mo Green.
What's happening?
What's going on, guys? All right, you got
a doctor?
Yeah, for sure. I'm the doctor of everything, man. I know what's going on.
All right. Just checking, man.
I love the hat, by the way.
Thank you. Little easy for me.
Yes,
easy. And it goes with my last name, so.
All right, so we're talking tonight. You guys got a tag match going on tonight, and last week, Mr. Compton, you had a little bit of nothing big. You guys aren't ready to kill each other, but you did have a run-in with this man's main man, Chris Silvio, and this week you all got a tag match together. Do you have any particular thoughts going on with that? Mo, I'll start with you.
Do I have any particular thoughts? Well, the last match last week was a good match. It got a little physical, which you expect with two finely tuned athletes such as Cliff Compton, who I know obviously know a lot about if you have any OVW history knowledge, and of course the best guy, the top guy, the psychedelic superstar Chris Silvio. You're gonna have those things happen. It was over the TV title, so it happens. It's all good.
Well, I'll be honest, it was kind of a historic match because I'd never wrestled Silvio before, and to be quite honest, I didn't think it would take much more than 3 minutes to beat him, but obviously we went to the 10-minute time limit draw, and we got a little over anxious at the end and started smacking each other around, but whatever, it is what it is, and tonight we got a big tag team match against Mr. Spectacular and Rudy Switchblade, so we'll see how it goes.
Now, when you look forward to the match, when you look at the strengths that Mr. Spectacular has and that Rudy Switchblade has, and the strengths that yourself and Silvio have, where do you all put this in terms of what kind of match for the fans to be expecting? Obviously, everybody's expecting an amazing match, but as far as what do you all bring to the table that Switchblade and Mr. Spectacular are going to have trouble with dealing with?
Experience, no doubt about it. Me and Silvio between us probably have 20 years, maybe 25 years of wrestling experience. Spectacular, I don't know, man. He's a reality TV star. I don't know what that counts for, but I'll give Rudy credit. He's a former OVW heavyweight champion, but I think me and Silvio, we got their number tonight, and it is going to be an exciting match. But when the bell rings, I'm almost positive our hitters will be in the air.
How about you, Mo? Thoughts?
One thing you forgot, Cliff, you forgot about the manager of champions, Mo Green, so that actually adds 30 years of experience on our side. Now, true, Jesse and Ruby have been teaming for a while, and they've been the tag champs, but that's been a very tenuous hold. They've been hanging on by a thread anyway. And when you're looking at two of the most talented guys that this company has ever produced, actually, take that back, I'll include myself in that, the three most talented guys that this company has ever produced, there's going to be trouble for you guys.
Now let me ask you all one last follow-up question. After the dust is settled, win or lose, do you all see this, the Compton-Silvio connection? Do you all see yourselves working with each other maybe a little bit more if this goes well?
I didn't know there was a Compton-Silvio connection until you brought it up. I don't know, it's week to week here, so we'll see what happens tonight. I do like Silvio, I respect him. He's an unbelievable wrestler and performer, but I'm just a little better.
Obviously, that opinion is not humble, and it's also wrong. Chris, 54 weeks, you've had 54 shows, and we finally have you on. You want to take the microphone?
I'm not trying to take the microphone. We love you, Mo.
Wrong folks is talking. Wrong folks is talking.
All right.
As I was saying, Chris Silvio, by far, is the hottest wrestler in this company. He's traveling all over the world. He's doing his thing. Why? Because that's how Team Tie-Dye rolls. And as long as Cliff can hold up his end, it shouldn't be a problem this evening.
Thanks, Mo, for the vote of confidence. We'll try to hold up my end of the bargain tonight. So just make sure you have your religion and the hula hoop girl, too. Tell her to stop staring at me, you know what.
That is a rather large news.
Definitely a good match to be expected tonight. Fans at the Davis Arena, you guys are welcome. And I do have to say, it is an honor to be finally by Mr. Mo Green because, and obviously Cliff Compton too, but Cliff just come back full time. So we got lucky getting Cliff so close in, but Mo's been waiting a while, and we love Mo for his patience. Any thoughts on that? No? Alright. Guys, this is Triple Threat Talk. Stay tuned.
Oh, great stuff. Finally
Good stuff. I know, right?
Mo still didn't like you for that.
We got Mo Green.
Go, Green.
But he definitely a good sport.
Cliff Compton as well.
Cliff Compton.
Awesome at him.
Very
Hey, did you know he was the original singer of Somebody Call My Mama?
Mo Green?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Ernest the Cat
Miller, yes. He was one of the original singers.
He was in WWE.
I know.
Yeah. He was
just an interesting factoid for the people watching. I knew you knew.
Okay.
I was letting the viewers know.
The viewers know. We want to thank OVW for the interview, letting us do the interview like they do every week.
OVWrestling.com. You can check them out. WKYI channel 130 on Saturdays at 1 o'clock or 9 o'clock, depending
on blip.tv.
Right, on OVWrestling.com. They usually upload on Thursday, so check that out. So we get to the show this past week.
Ken Wayne is back!
Yes.
The whole rooster was around the rooster. The whole roster started the show around the ring. Sharp,
bunch of
dividing the sides, obviously, and he got rid of the TV title last week, and now it's vacant now.
It's still 7.
Seven.
Yeah. The issue between Sharp and the other officials continued with a match between Sharp and Ashcraft. Josh won with the low blow, and Joe Wheeler counted the 3 count. He was looking right at him. Come on,
he's like, I didn't see anything.
You can't do that. Come on, Joe.
Joe Wheeler is kind of old. Maybe
Joe Wheeler is compromised.
It was probably a 10 count.
Probably.
No, he counted pretty fast.
1, 10.
Cliff Compton took on Silvio in a tournament for the vacated television title, which Ali Vaez was robbed. Robbed! So the time limit ran out and the match was a draw.
Come on, he won it fair and square.
One of the 2 best superstars in OVW, and they let it end in a draw. I was a little disappointed.
Very befuddled.
I was very befuddled. I thought that we could have had a winner in this, but there must be a reason why.
Must be a reason why.
And now tonight they're involved in as you said in the interview, in a tag team match.
Tag team contest.
Then the wedding between Cody Rhodes and Brandon DeMiro took place.
Yes! Oh, wait, no, you missed it. Let me read it.
Sorry, thank you.
Then the wedding of Mrs. Brandon DeMiro and Mr. Cody Rhodes took place. You forgot the Mr. and Mrs.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Like I said, come on, is that all you got? Come on.
That's what she said. Then the wedding between Paradise and Espinosa.
Where's this show going, honestly?
The wedding between Paradise and Espinosa took place before Espinosa and Paradise could finish their ceremony. Josette came out to spoil the festivities and said, hey, save that for next weekend. Then the final match was between Spade and Terry.
Best of 7?
For the first pick in the best of 7 for the Saturday night special, Johnny Spade picked up the win and was Danny Davis's first pick. And for the explanation, we turned to Big P.
Best of 7, what it's going to be. I don't know all the specifics of it yet, but what it seems like it's going to be is like a best of 7 series of matches between like Danny Davis's OVW and Joseph Bottom's JoVW. And I guess Danny Davis's first pick for that was Johnny Spade for his team, I guess.
Okay. So what's the winner get? Steak night?
Probably control of OVW.
No.
Steak at the Ruth's Chris.
Steak dinner at Ruth's Chris.
Yes.
Pat Steakhouse. One of those.
They get all that good stuff.
Right.
I mean, so Saturday night special is coming up
July 7th.
July the 7th, a couple days after July the 4th.
Hot dogs.
Independence Day. Holla.
Independence Day.
So, you can go to...
we want to thank everyone.
Really? Everyone?
We want to thank everyone associated with OVW. www.ovwrestling.com.
Steve Blackman.
Check out Terry Bodie at www.thefanadvocate.com. Like them on their Facebook page, our Facebook page. Keep up with OVW and all the excellent stuff they do. Like they said, better than SmackDown.
Harvard of professional wrestling.
Yeah, the Harvard of professional wrestling. And now we go from indie league to the big league.
We go from OVW to WWE, No Way Out, and we'll get into No Way Out and WWE when we come back.
Oh, babe, check this out. Hey, come on. You want a little chippy? You want a Dorito? Are you hungry? I want to get a Dorito.
Babe, don't hurt my dog.
Come on, get a tip. Come on, get a tip. Get a tip. Come on. Here it goes. That's what the Beatles.
And welcome back. We are in our final segment here at Triple Threat Talk, episode Car 54. Where are you?
Right.
So, talk about the WWE No Way Out recap.
No, before we get into that, No Way Out was very interesting, as you all know. We were here with a couple of guests, as it were.
We were at the Triple Threat Talk headquarters.
With a bunch of people, including Taylor Hendricks.
Yes.
Mike Costa, a.k.a. Mad Macabre.
Come on! I thought we were playing a game here!
An upcoming wrestler from Australia. I don't remember her last name. Courtney... I don't remember. I apologize. I don't know.
But we love you.
The Thunder from Down Under.
That's right.
That should be your nickname.
Yeah.
Trademark that.
So it was definitely a fun night hanging out with them. And then, we started off Santino defeating Ricardo Rodriguez.
These weren't the matches in order.
Right.
I just wrote them down.
You wrote them down from like worst to first, I think.
Almost.
Pretty much.
Santino did win in the tuxedo.
I want to talk about that for a minute.
I didn't watch that match.
I'm glad you didn't. What were they thinking? I mean, obviously the WWE-Universe is obviously smart because during that they were chanting boring, which obviously it was. If you didn't watch pay-per-view and you didn't want to see this match, I don't blame you. It's pretty much like a bra and panties match for men. I am not joking. It was the stupidest thing ever. I don't know why they did that. Makes no sense.
They used to have them all the time.
Tuxedo matches?
Yeah. They used to be pretty prevalent.
Stop. It's dumb. Santino had a cobra thing on his foot. Stupid.
60s and 70s and 80s, they had them all the time.
Time filler.
Yeah, really. Right. Anyway, so
Sin Cara defeated Hunico. Enough with the mood lighting already.
Mood.
The primetime players.
So I was surprised at that.
With the help of Abraham Washington.
He turned on Epico and Primo. What the hell?
Won a fatal 4-way match to become the #1 contenders for the tag team titles.
You know,
the only thing missing in this match was.
Thank you, Tony Evans. But it was surprising to me in a certain. I thought maybe the Usos would win. They gave them a push, but. they've been pushing this team, the primetime players, Titus O'Neil and
PTP.
Darren Young, the primetime players. They've been pushing them for a while, so it wasn't a big surprise. I just thought the Usos would win, but they've been pushing this team. They put Abraham Washington with them, so see where this team goes.
Brodus Clay took out David Otunga
in the pre-show.
No surprise there.
And the thing was, they had Otunga attack Brodus Clay on Raw, and then this thing made. I think pretty much the whole thing with them taking Brodus Clay out was I think they wanted to make Brodus Clay look stronger, which I don't know if they did that or not, but that was probably their intention. So
Layla retained over Beth Phoenix,
and we were watching that match, and Taylor and Courtney were not too happy that they did that to Beth, and I don't blame them. I think Beth is obviously the better wrestler, but that's WWE for you. So I do think Beth should have maybe won that match, honestly.
Christian defeated your husband and to retain the Intercontinental Championship.
I'll say this, but I didn't expect Cody Rhodes to win. I didn't think Christian was gonna lose the title that quickly. I think they want to give Christian a long title reign, so I do think this was justified.
Sheems.
You know what I meant. Sheems. The great white Sheems.
defeated Dolph Ziggler to retain the world title. No surprise.
That was the first match.
I thought this was the best match of the night. I thought,
really?
Yes, really.
Really?
I thought Ziggler put on a hell of a show. I thought him being in that spot was justified. The whole crowd. Now what?
You know what it is now, don't you?
Now what?
Now it's all about.
Now he's gonna move to Utah so he can have a polygamous relationship and he can marry Cody Rhodes and Dolph Ziggler.
Anyway, I'm the only intelligent one talking at this moment, so
you're the only one talking at this moment.
Yeah.
Yes! That was epic! Yes!
If you'd like to join Triple Threat Talk, send me a line. I can easily just listen to these two. But like I said, I do think it was justified for Dolph Ziggler to be in that match. Obviously, the crowd was into it. They were cheering, "Let's go Ziggler," and they were really behind Ziggler in that match. Sheamus said in an interview on WWE.com he was really pushed, and obviously it was apparent in that match. Props to Ziggler for taking that spot, and he definitely earned that spot for sure.
CM Punk defeated Kane and Daniel Bryan to retain the WWE. Now becomes the fourth longest title reign of the past. The two of them belonged to John Cena, and the other one belonging to JBL.
The weird thing about that match was, in the last, 4 or 5 minutes, where the hell did Daniel Bryan go?
I don't know. I'm still befuddled.
The last thing I saw of Daniel Bryan, he got GTS by CM Punk, and then he just didn't show up again.
GTFO.
He was gone. Lights out.
Lights out.
Right back again. Feed me more.
Start fighting more prevalent people.
Ryback versus Brodus Clay.
No, Brodus Clay would kill him. I mean, Brodus Clay would lose.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah,
you said yourself Ryback's not that good of a wrestler, and that's why they do that.
No, we'll see.
John Cena defeats The Big Show.
Thank God.
Otherwise,
thank goodness.
Otherwise, Big B probably would have just barfed all over.
And now we can finally say this to Johnny. No. Hey. Good.
The weird thing about that was they wanted to make you believe the Big Show could win because Brodus Clay came out there and was trying to get in Larry Nice's face, and the Big Show almost made its way out, giving you the sense of, we're going to see John Cena lose to the Big Show. Really?
Of course, they've been long time prepping for Stephanie to take over the company.
That moves us on to Raw, which we'll recap real quick. I did not get to see Raw.
Right, so
you didn't miss much.
Mick Foley was named the GM for Raw and SmackDown this week.
Anniversary.
This week.
It is.
It is. I think what they're trying to do is bring back more Attitude Era people in this role. So they're going to make Mick Foley in charge for a week. That's fine, whatever.
That means next week Gilbert's in charge.
No.
Can I do this part? Because I coined a term that really kind of caught on.
What part?
This CM Punk part.
Fine, go ahead.
CM Punk and Sheamus took on Kane and Daniel Bryan, and during the match, and this I coined this on Facebook.
I saw it.
I'll let you have it. I want to dime for every time somebody says it. We had an appearance of KJ. That's right. AJ dressed up in a Kane outfit. Actually, looked pretty good on her.
Weird mask man.
Not gonna lie.
Not
gonna lie.
I'll say this.
KJ.
I'll say this though.
That's what I say to your KJ.
I do like this AJ thing. I think it's very interesting. Her kind of maybe interested in Kane, but we're not too sure. I do like the persona that she's playing. I do like she's kind of trying to mess with his head. I think it's a very smart thing for them to do. I think it's very smart. I like it a lot.
Hey, this next, you can take this next thing all kinds of ways. I mean, but I don't know if I would like the services of
I don't know. But Dolph Ziggler has him now.
Dolph Ziggler has her to himself.
For better, for worse.
So Jack Swagger's kind of kicked to the curb, as it were.
You could join you, Cody, and Dolph.
Why would Dolph join nothing that is going on when you think he grew anyway?
Why would you defend it if there was nothing going on?
You're both morons!
So we got
Look what I have to deal with every week. Feel sorry for me.
Why should we?
Bucking 5 actually said that. How do you put up with these two? You're a saint for putting up with these two. No kidding.
He's not a saint.
Really? I put up with all this crap every week.
It's not crap. It's tomfoolery, and you enjoy it.
I don't enjoy it.
It's part of the.
Why do you think I quit the show before?
It's part of the game.
It's part of kayfabe.
Yeah, you can't say that. It's vacay.
Can't say that. All right, moving on.
Now be quiet before I punch you like Triple H punched Paul Heyman.
We're supposed to do that.
So, what do you guys think about this? I mean, obviously we all saw what happened. Paul Heyman got punched, so we're talking about the business side of this. They're talking about the business side of this, bringing in, going to court. Obviously, this is storytelling. Where do you think they're going with this whole Brock Lesnar?
I mean, honestly,
you think it's the obvious point for SummerSlam?
Obviously, they want to do this. They want, a big time name. Obviously, Brock Lesnar. I'll say this: I'm with him. I don't really care for Brock Lesnar, to be honest. He has a massive ego. He's only in it for himself. Honestly, I can't remember Brock Lesnar ever having an outstanding match. I don't remember any of him having an outstanding match.
Oh, really?
Outstanding.
Brock Lesnar versus Big Show because that was
what?
No, I'm just saying. Because when you're talking about wow,
that doesn't count.
I don't expect that to ever happen.
So what?
I don't mean a wow moment. I mean an outstanding 5-star quality match.
He's never had a good match in his life.
And the one match he had a chance to, he botched and almost killed himself doing a shooting star press against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19.
Okay.
But back to the topic on hand. They want to do this. They want to have Triple H come back and wrestle Brock Lesnar because they paid so much for him in the first place and have a big time name at the SummerSlam, possibly main event or a co-main event with Triple H and Brock Lesnar fighting. Thank you. Fighting. They have all this lawsuit thing, so it seems more like a serious thing that's going on. But more likely than it's going to happen that Lesnar will fight Triple H at SummerSlam. They're going to prolong this thing with like Triple H at Heyman and lawsuits going to happen and all this other stuff. But when it comes down to the bare minimum, what's going to happen? Lesnar will fight Triple H at SummerSlam, and hopefully we're going to get a big buy rate for this because I guarantee that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that. All this is leading up to what I think is what they're going to do here is. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about here. Help me out here. Triple H and Paul Heyman and all them, they're all, just trying to get Stephanie to where it's eventually going to be Stephanie on TV doing this thing with the company. That's why now Laurinaitis is out. It's fact. It's going to happen. It's time for Stephanie to take over the company. It's time for a McMahon to be there full time, and that's what this whole thing is leading up to.
Right.
We said it. I think one of us said it on the show not too long ago. Might have been me. Might have been you. Might have been you. That Stephanie is gearing up to take control of the company. They just want to make sure everything is right. We've been reporting on this for a while. It should have happened 2 months ago. And of course, it broke. The story caught on like wildfire, and now they're trying to fool people. Now that Laurinaitis was gone, it broke that. I was one of them that put Stephanie time. To which your wife had a funny reply, but it's always Stephanie time. They went on with this, and now they're doing this to further fool the fans. We know where this is going. You're not fooling anybody. Stephanie's going to be in charge very shortly.
Right.
She's already in charge of him.
Yeah. Anyway.
But anyways, you guys got a wild card?
And then one more thing. In the main event, Cena defeated Otunga and Laurinaitis to finally put an end to People Power.
I've got my summer reading right here, The Assassin's Guide to Hand.
Anybody have a wild card other than me?
I do. It's breaking news, so I'll let you go ahead.
Okay. My wild card is a fail. In the sense of, it's a fail. Dumb and Dumber. One of the funniest movies of all time.
Big gulps, huh?
Alright, well, see you later. It has a prequel, Dumb and Dumber. Horrible! So now you're like, can they redeem this name of this great comedy?
The name of comedy.
They announced they're going to make a sequel, Dumb and Dumber 2, spelled T-O, obviously play on the title. Right. Good! It's going to happen. But are you going to get Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey? Yes, they got him. But now they don't.
Well, wait a minute.
According to Jim Carrey's representative, the actor was increasingly frustrated by the lack of progress on the project and the lack of enthusiasm from Warner Bros. And New Line. I thought Dumb and Dumber, this is a quote from Jim Carrey, I thought Dumb and Dumber 2 was a no-brainer. Carrey said, after all, it's implied in the title. So, pretty much, now, without Jim Carrey, this movie's not really worth seeing. I hope they don't make it at all, because just without him, it wouldn't really make any sense.
I do have one. It's going to maybe make the two of you mad. I don't really care, because it's ridiculous. Good job to U of L's rowing team, who did win the national championship in rowing. However, there are a lot of fans out there who are saying this is not only equal to the UK win of the national championship, it surpasses it. No, it does not. It's nowhere close. It is a national championship.
I haven't even heard of it talked about, so that goes to show you that.
It's one of those things that is broke. It was on Facebook and Twitter. People just going crazy about this. Yeah, let us show those UK Wildcats. No, basketball and football are your money sports. Anything other than that, it doesn't really matter.
Breaking news out of the NHL. Evgeny Malkin, Pittsburgh's Penguins star player, did a sweep, as it were, of the 3 major awards for offensive player tonight. He won the Hart Trophy, which is the league MVP. He also picked up the Ted Lindsay Award, which is the Players' Vote MVP, and the Art Ross Trophy for leading scorer. So congrats, Evgeny Malkin and the Pittsburgh Penguins, sweeping all 3 major awards for offensive player, I believe, in the NHL awards ceremony. And also, a little down in the dumps, says it were, Pekka Rinne was a finalist to go on the cover for NHL 13. He was beat by Claude Giroux. Big B says that's a fail because Vincent LeCavalier should have been on the voting and he was not. Right. That's neither here nor there.
And just no news right there. No further news. Just R.C. Owens, 49ers great, did pass away this week at the age of 78. So we want to give our best to the Niner Nation and his friends and family.
Guys, that about does it for the show this week. If you want to like us on Facebook, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/triplethreattalk. You can follow us on Twitter at triplethreattalk, and you can send us any comment or question you have at triplethreattalk@yahoo.com. So for Triple Threat Talk, this is Big B.
This is the Doctor.
This is Postmaster Jones. And I'm still waiting on my invitation for the Rhodes De Niro wedding, but we'll see.
This is Big B, and once again, if you want to join Triple Threat Talk, send me an email. Bye, everybody.